Utah just had the biggest baby bust in America. Utah used to be the state that everybody joked about having too many kids, but not anymore. Since 2007, our birth rate has declined by 37%. The steepest collapse of any state in the entire country. We went from the #1 birth rate in the country to #6, and we're still falling. And every time something like this makes headlines, some politician or some billionaire gets on a podium and tells us why it's young people's responsibility to have more children. Like it's a values problem. Like an entire generation just stopped wanting to have a family. But here's what it actually is. It's a math problem. Utah's housing market is one of the most expensive in the nation compared to the wages here. It used to take one income to raise a family. Now it takes two just to make rent. Childcare costs are more than some mortgages. And a lot of young people watching this were still in middle school when the people telling them to just buy a house already were buying theirs for a fraction of the prices. And this isn't a generation that just doesn't want kids. I talk to young people all the time who would love to have 2, 3, or even 4 kids if they could only afford to do so. I myself come from a huge family of 8 brothers and sisters, and I would love a big family if that made financial sense for me. If one parent could afford to stay home, if childcare didn't cost as much as your rent, the desire didn't disappear, the math simply stopped working. And politicians can't lecture people into having children that they can't afford. But they can fix the thing that's actually stopping them. Housing that is too unaffordable, healthcare and childcare that costs too much, and wages that haven't kept up with any of it. Here's the fix that nobody's proposing. Home prices in this county have doubled since the pandemic, while homelessness, something that we didn't used to see in Cedar City, is rising fast. Meanwhile, we keep hearing the same fixes from Utah politicians. Give private developers more tax breaks and the market will solve itself. But it hasn't. Prices continue to skyrocket. But of course, that's going to be the answer when the majority of our politicians have deep financial ties to the real estate and development industry. Who wouldn't want a taxpayer-funded subsidy to pad their profits? Sign me up. If I'm elected, here's what I'll actually do differently. Cut private equity and out-of-state investors out of the single-family home market. Even President Trump has proposed banning big institutional buyers from buying up homes, and he's right, but it doesn't go far enough. I want to build housing that's permanently affordable by design, owned locally, with rents tied to what families here actually earn, not whatever the market can squeeze out of them. And not public housing projects from the 70s, but something new, built with local control that puts the profits back into Utah families' pockets, not some landlord's third vacation home. If we actually want more Utah families, then the answer isn't a speech or lecture about responsibility and family values. It's making it possible again to actually raise one on what a Utah family actually makes. That's the fight that I'm running on, because nobody up there is being honest about why this is happening, and somebody has to be. So if you're a young person in Utah, especially one who doesn't usually vote, it's so important for you to get out and vote this November. Because Utah can't afford to have its future dictated by politicians who are still living in the 80s. My name is Thomas Lovehart, and I'm running as a progressive independent for rural Utah. And I know that money is tight for all of us, and that's something that my campaign aims to change. But if you can spare even a few dollars towards supporting my campaign, then know that every cent helps.